Gratitude has a quiet but undeniable power to shape the direction of your entire day before it even begins. The moment you wake up, your mind naturally starts searching for something to hold on to, something to define how you will feel, how you will think, and how you will respond to everything that comes your way. If you are not intentional in that moment, it is easy for your thoughts to drift toward pressure, worry, comparison, or even disappointment. But when you deliberately choose gratitude, you interrupt that cycle before it takes control, and you replace it with something that grounds you, strengthens you, and steadies you. There is something transformative about pausing at the very start of your day and acknowledging what is already present in your life. Not what is missing, not what you wish was different, but what is already here. Because when you begin your day focusing on what you have instead of what you lack, you shift your internal atmosphere. Your heart becomes lighter. Your thoughts becomes lighter. Your thoughts become clearer. Your perspective becomes wider. And suddenly the same life that felt overwhelming starts to feel manageable, even meaningful. You have to understand that your first thoughts in the morning are not small. They are seeds, and whatever you plant in that moment begins to grow throughout your day. If you plant worry, you will find reasons to be anxious. If you plant frustration, you will find situations that confirm it. But if you plant gratitude, you begin to notice things that align with it. You begin to see moments of peace, glimpses of progress, and small victories that you might have overlooked before. It's not that your circumstances have changed instantly, but your awareness has. And awareness is powerful because it determines what you give your energy to. When you are grateful, you are not ignoring reality. You are choosing which part of reality you will focus on. You are deciding that even though challenges exist, they will not be the only thing you carry into your day. You are making space for hope, for joy, for expectation, even if it's just a small spark at first. Sometimes people think gratitude is just about saying thank you for the obvious things, but it goes deeper than that. It's about developing a posture where you begin to recognize value in places you once overlooked. It's about seeing that waking up is not something to rush past, but something to appreciate. It's about realizing that strength is not just found in big victories, but also in the fact that you made it through yesterday, even if it was difficult. When you start your day with gratitude, you are also setting boundaries for your mind. You are telling yourself that negativity does not get the first word. You are choosing to lead your thoughts instead of letting them lead you. And that matters because throughout the day, there will be moments that test your patience, your confidence, and your peace. There will be situations that try to pull you back into old patterns of thinking. But when your foundation is gratitude, you are less likely to be shaken by those moments. It becomes easier to respond instead of react. It becomes easier to pause instead of panic. It becomes easier to maintain your sense of self, even when things around you feel uncertain, because you didn't start your day empty. You started it filled with recognition, with awareness, with a quiet strength that comes from knowing that there is already something good within your reach. Gratitude also changes the way you interact with others. When your heart is full, you don't approach people from a place of neediness or frustration. You approach them with patience, with kindness, with understanding. You are more present in your conversations. You are more aware of the people around you. And in a world where so many people are rushing, distracted, and overwhelmed, that kind of presence stands out. It creates connection. It creates peace. It creates an environment where not only you feel better, but the people around you feel it too. And it all starts with a simple decision in the morning to acknowledge what is already good instead of immediately focusing on what feels wrong. There is also a level of confidence that grows when you consistently practice gratitude. Not a loud, attention-seeking confidence, but a steady, grounded one. The kind that doesn't depend on everything going perfectly. The kind that remains even when things don't go as planned, because your confidence is no longer built on external outcomes alone. It is built on an internal awareness that you are supported, that you have made it through before, and that there is still something valuable in your life right now. And the more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. What once felt like something you had to remind yourself to do becomes the way you think. Your mind begins to look for good automatically. Your heart begins to appreciate without being prompted. Your perspective begins to shift without effort. And over time, you start to notice that your days feel different. Not because life has suddenly become perfect, but because you have become more present, more aware, and more aligned with what truly matters. You don't have to wait for a major breakthrough to feel grateful. You don't have to wait for everything to fall into place. You can begin right where you are with the life you have in this very moment. And when you do, you are not just changing how your day starts. You are changing how your day unfolds, how you experience it, and how you carry yourself through it. There is a kind of strength that comes from remembering, not just casually, but intentionally reflecting on what you have already made it through. Life has a way of pulling your attention toward what is not working, what feels uncertain, and what still hasn't come together yet. But when you pause and look back, you begin to see a different story, one that is filled with moments where you were sustained, guided, and carried in ways you didn't fully recognize at the time. You have faced days that you thought would break you, moments where the weight felt too heavy, where the answers didn't come, and where the future looked unclear. And yet, somehow, you are still here, not just surviving, but growing, learning, and evolving into someone stronger than you were before. That didn't happen by accident. That didn't happen without purpose. And when you allow yourself to truly acknowledge that, it begins to change how you see your present situation. Because it's easy to trust when everything is going well. It's easy to feel confident when the path is clear and the results are visible. But real resilience is built in the moments where you don't have all the answers, where you don't understand what is happening, and where you are forced to keep moving forward anyway. And the truth is, you've done that more times than you give yourself credit for. Think about the seasons in your life where things didn't make sense, the doors that closed without explanation, the relationships that ended in ways you didn't expect, the opportunities that slipped through your hands just when you thought they were yours. In those moments, it may have felt like loss, like failure, like something was being taken from you. But as time passed, some of those same moments began to reveal a different purpose. You started to see that what didn't work out was sometimes protection, that what felt like rejection was sometimes redirection, that what seemed like an ending was actually creating space for something new to begin. And even if you don't have clarity on every situation, you have enough evidence in your life to know that not everything that felt bad was actually working against you. This is where gratitude becomes more than just a feeling. It becomes a reminder that your story is not defined by one moment, one setback, or one unanswered question. A reminder that there is a pattern of strength in your life, a pattern of making it through, even when you didn't think you could. And when you hold on to that reminder, it changes how you approach what you are facing right now. Instead of being overwhelmed by uncertainty, you begin to stand on the foundation of what you already know. You know that you have been sustained before. You know that you have found your way through confusion before. You know that even when things didn't go according to your plan, something still worked out in a way that shaped you for the better. That knowledge creates a different kind of confidence. It's not based on having everything figured out. It's based on trusting that even if you don't, you are not without direction. It's based on understanding that your journey has never been random, even when it felt unpredictable. Gratitude for what has already been done also shifts your focus from fear to faith. Fear constantly asks, what if it doesn't work out? But gratitude responds with, look at all the times it already has. Fear tries to convince you that your current challenge is too big, too complicated, too impossible. But gratitude reminds you that you have faced difficult things before and you didn't come out empty-handed. See, also deepens your sense of resilience, because resilience is not just about enduring hard times. It's about recognizing that you have endured them and come out stronger. It's about understanding that every challenge you have faced has added something to you, whether it was wisdom, patience, strength, or clarity. And sometimes the greatest growth doesn't come from the moments you would choose, but from the ones you would avoid if you could. The ones that stretched you, that tested you, that forced you to confront parts of yourself you didn't even realize needed to grow. And while those moments were not easy, they were not without purpose. When you start your day remembering these things, you are not just reflecting on the past. You are reinforcing your ability to handle the present. You are reassuring yourself that you are not starting from zero. You are starting from experience, from lessons learned, from strength gained over time. It's also important to recognize that not every blessing in your life came in the form you expected. Some came disguised as delays. Some came wrapped in discomfort. Some came through situations that pushed you out of your comfort zone and into places where you had no choice but to grow. And while you may not have understood it in the moment, you can look back now and see that those experiences added value to your life in ways that comfort never could. So when you begin your day with gratitude for what has already been done, you are doing more than just remembering. You are building trust. You are strengthening your belief that your life is not a series of random events, but a journey that is unfolding with intention, even when it doesn't feel like it. You are reminding yourself that you have been equipped with everything you need to face what is in front of you, that the same strength that carried you through before is still within why. Oh, now that the same resilience that helped you rise in the past is still available to you in this moment. And when you carry that awareness into your day, you walk differently. You think differently. You think differently. You respond differently because you are no longer looking at your life through the lens of uncertainty alone. You are looking at it through the lens of experience, of growth, and of a quiet but steady confidence that comes from knowing you have already made it through more than you once thought you could. A grateful heart has a way of reshaping how you experience everything, especially the moments that don't go according to your plan. Life doesn't suddenly become easier just because you choose gratitude, but your perspective shifts in a way that allows you to move through challenges with a different kind of strength. Instead of seeing obstacles as interruptions, you begin to see them as part of a process. Instead of viewing delays as denial, you start to consider that they might be preparing you for something you are not fully ready to handle yet. It's not that the difficulty disappears, it's that your interpretation of it changes. And interpretation matters because it determines whether you feel defeated or determined, whether you shut down or press forward, whether you lose hope or hold on to it, even when things are unclear. Gratitude becomes the filter that helps you see beyond the surface of your situation and recognize that there may be more happening than what is immediately visible. When something doesn't work out, your natural reaction might be frustration or disappointment. You might question why things didn't go the way you expected or why the effort you put in didn't produce the results you wanted. But when gratitude becomes your daily posture, you begin to pause before jumping to conclusions. You begin to ask different questions instead of only asking, why didn't this happen? You start to consider, what could this be teaching me? Or how might this be redirecting me? Or how might this be redirecting me? That shift in questioning is powerful because it keeps you open. It keeps you from closing yourself off to possibilities that you cannot yet see. It keeps you engaged in your own growth rather than stuck in your frustration. And over time, you begin to realize that not every closed door is meant to limit you. Some are meant to guide you towards something that aligns more closely with who you are becoming. Gratitude also helps you stay present in moments that might otherwise feel insignificant. So often, people are waiting for big breakthroughs, major opportunities, or life-changing events before they allow themselves to feel excited or hopeful. But life is not only built on those big moments. It is shaped in the small, consistent steps you take every day. And when you are grateful, you begin to value those steps instead of overlooking them. You start to recognize that progress does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like showing up when you don't feel like it. Sometimes it looks like choosing patience when you would rather rush. Sometimes it looks like continuing to believe in something even when there is no immediate evidence that it is working. And when you can be grateful in those moments, you begin to understand that they are not wasted. They are building something within you that will be necessary for what comes next. Challenges also lose some of their power when you approach them with gratitude. not because they are easy, but because you are no longer facing them from a place of resistance alone. You are facing them with an awareness that there is something to gain, even if it is not immediately clear. That awareness doesn't make the process comfortable, but it makes it meaningful. And meaning changes everything. When you can find meaning in your struggles, you are less likely to give up in the middle of them. You are more likely to stay committed, to keep learning, to keep growing, because you understand that what you are going through is not just happening to you, it is also working within you. Gratitude also positions you to recognize opportunities that others might miss. When your mind is focused only on what is lacking, it becomes harder to see what is available. But when you are grateful, your awareness expands. You begin to notice connections, ideas, and possibilities that were always there but went unnoticed because your attention was elsewhere. You become more open to new directions, more willing to step outside of your comfort zone, more ready to take action when an opportunity presents itself, even if it doesn't look exactly like what you expected. And that openness can lead to experiences and growth that you might have missed if you were only focused on what didn't happen. There is also a sense of peace that comes with gratitude, even in uncertain situations. You may not know how everything will turn out. You may not have a clear timeline or a detailed plan, but when you are grounded in gratitude, you are less consumed by the need to control every outcome. You learn to do your part, to give your best, and to trust that the rest will unfold in time. That doesn't mean you stop caring or stop putting in effort. It means your effort is no longer driven by fear alone. It is supported by a sense of calm, by a belief that your work has value and that your journey has purpose, even when it feels unpredictable. Over time, this way of living begins to transform not just your experiences, but your identity. You become someone who looks for growth instead of defeat, someone who looks for lessons instead of just losses. Someone who understands that every season, whether it feels good or difficult, has something to offer. And as you carry that mindset into each day, you begin to see that your life is not a series of random events. It is a journey filled with opportunities to learn, to evolve, and to step into a deeper version of yourself. Gratitude becomes the anchor that keeps you steady, the lens that keeps you focused, and the quiet strength that helps you keep moving forward no matter what comes your way. So as you stand at the beginning of each new day, you are not standing empty, and you are not standing empty, and you are not starting from scratch. You are standing on everything that has already been done in your life, the strength that carried you through hard seasons, the lessons that shaped your character, the unseen moments that protected you, and the quiet victories that brought you to where you are now. When you choose gratitude, you are not ignoring your struggles, you are placing them in perspective. You are reminding yourself that your story is bigger than any single moment, and that there is still purpose unfolding, even in the parts you don't fully understand yet. Gratitude becomes your anchor in uncertainty, your clarity in confusion, and your peace in the middle of pressure. It teaches you to trust the process without needing to control every detail. It allows you to move through your day with a sense of assurance, knowing that even when things don't go according to your plan, they are not without meaning. And as you carry that mindset forward, you begin to see life differently, not as something happening against you, but as something working within you and for you in ways that are deeper than what you can immediately see. So don't rush past the beginning of your day. Don't overlook the power of a thankful heart. Take a moment to breathe, to reflect, and to recognize that there is already more good in your life than you often give yourself time to notice. Let gratitude shape your thoughts, guide your actions, and steady your spirit as you move through every moment that lies ahead. Because when you begin your day with thankfulness, you are not just preparing to face life, you are preparing to rise above it and walk through it with purpose, strength, and unshakable peace. Start every day with gratitude and watch how your entire life begins to transform from the inside out.